As you can see, guys, there will be some questions. As I told you at the beginning of this session, there will be a number of questions tackling the written topics. Each question, you can see its domain and the skill that it tests and the level of difficulty. Okay, so now we're answering digital SAT questions from the reading and writing section. Which domain? I'm gonna focus on standard English conventions related to the written questions on the digital SAT. And the skill being tested here is boundaries. Boundaries, when I say this word, this means that I'm dealing with punctuation marks, how to punctuate clauses, phrases, non-essential information. Also, I will be dealing with run-ons, comma splice, etc. The level of difficulty of this question is supposed to be easy, an easy one. So I have like 99 participants, with me 100. So I want everyone to be reading the question and to be answering in the chat box to see, but privately, please, not to everyone, okay? Privately, please, okay? In order to see to what extent you're able to get the easy question correctly. Okay, so let's start. I'm gonna activate the chat box, and then right after you answer or you submit your answers, I'm gonna discuss the question with all of you. But please, please, please try to send the answer privately, not to everyone. Go ahead. Okay, the majority of the answers, actually, yeah, most of you got the right answer. Unfortunately, a number of students couldn't figure it out, okay? I can see from your feedback that you were stuck between A and B, okay? Some people, answered A and others answered B, which, nice. You eliminated C and D, okay? So let's discuss this question. Now we have generations, okay? I'm gonna stop or deactivate the chat box now. Generations of mystery and horror writers. Now I have two generations of what mystery and horror writers have been influenced by the dark Gothic stories of celebrated American author Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, so here I have what? I have the verb have been influenced. This verb phrase, I must look for its subject, okay? Generations of mystery and horror writers have been influenced by. First of all, let me, stress the fact that we never ever separate the subject from its verb using a single punctuation mark, okay? This is a very well-known rule, okay? If you're gonna go for B, sorry, B or C or D, this will make, a separation between the subject and its verb using one punctuation mark. So what is supposed to be the rule? What is supposed to be the rule? Okay, the rule says subject, verb with no punctuation at all, with no punctuation, marks, or subject, okay, comma, verb, or dash, verb, or bracket, verb. What do I mean? I mean that either you can have subject verb with no punctuation at all separating them, or two identical punctuation marks separating the subject and the verb. This is a very, very important and basic rule when it comes to punctuation. Okay? So that's number one, and that's number two. So let's figure this out and write it or rephrase the rule. Okay, rephrase the rule. Never separate the subject from its verb using one punctuation mark. Okay, either two identical ones or none. Okay, is it clear? So this is rule number one. You must, all the SAT takers must know this rule. Okay, that's why the College Board considered this question to be an easy one, because it tests a very basic rule. So what is the answer? The answer is A. So congratulations for those who answered the first question correctly. Okay, if you got the first answer, the first question correct, then you give yourself 10. Okay, now let's go for number two. Number two is an easy question as well. Okay, it's related to writing as I said, but this skill, the skill being tested here is form, structure, and sense. Form, structure, and sense. Okay, it's not boundaries now. It's not boundaries, it's form, structure, and sense. Yes, Omar? Omar Abdul Aziz, yes, you have a question? Yes, dear.
Yes, teacher, can you go up for a second?
Yeah, sure. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Anytime. Let's go for number two. خلاص, done. Number two is testing you on form, structure, and the sense, and we're gonna say now what do we mean by that, and the level of difficulty is supposed to be an easy one. So whenever you see one box marked, this means that the level of difficulty is not that hard. Okay, so having it correct, this will make you a little bit comfortable when it comes to these rules, because you can be losing some points unnecessarily, not being able to answer such a question correctly. Okay, let me activate the chat box. Yes. MashaAllah, most of you got it right, but again, I got some of you, some of you, actually went to the wrong answer. Guys, concentrate, please, because as I told you, these questions are considered to be easy. Okay, these two questions, the first two questions are considered to be easy. But please focus in order not to lose some marks unnecessarily on the test. Sarah Wahdan is an example of, yeah, you have to review, ya Sarah. طيب. Okay, you have to be quick a little bit, and you have to concentrate. You have to balance by being quick and correct. The radiation that occurs, have occurred, occur, and are occurring. Here I have what? I have actually the radiation. This is the subject. When you see, when you read the sentence from its beginning, assign the subject and search for its verb. Okay, search for its verb. Now, the radiation that what? Any of these options during the decay of radioactive atomic nuclei is known as gamma radiation. So may I ask any of the attendees, what is the main verb for the subject radiation? May you please raise your hand if you know? Yes, Sama? Tell me, where is the main verb for radiation?
Is.
Is, excellent. That's the main verb. Thanks, dear. That's the main verb. And here, this is the subject, this is the verb, and this is singular, actually. Subject is singular, and it is in the present tense. So this has to do with subject-verb agreement, subject-verb agreement, because you will notice that there is what? Singular. Then we have what? Plural, and plural. Okay, and this is what we call the 3-to-1 hack. 3-to-1 hack. Usually, the right answer is the different one. So this is plural. So the only one that is singular and matches or agrees with the subject radiation, because that is a relative pronoun that refers back to radiation, the radiation that. So I'm describing radiation, so my answer is letter A. Some people went for B, some people went for C. Actually, this is totally incorrect, and guys, you have to concentrate because it is supposed to be an easy question. Okay, so 3-to-1. What is the, now you got to understand what do I mean by form, structure, and sense. Subject-verb agreement, subject-verb agreement can be, can be tested under this skill. Okay, subject-verb agreement can be tested under this skill. Right, let's go for number 3. You see the difficulty started to get higher. The level of difficulty started to get higher. And here, I'm testing you on boundaries. Boundaries, as I mentioned before, they are, focusing on the usage of punctuation marks between sentences, between clauses, independent, dependent clauses, main clauses and supplementary clauses, and so on. Okay. Sorry. So let's go for number 3. Read it very well, and then we're gonna discuss it, and I'm gonna activate the chat box. Privately, please. Privately. Yes, thank you so much. Again. Again, I have some mistakes. I got some mistakes, but the majority, to be honest, the majority got it right, which amazing. The majority. Yeah, Rafa. Yeah, I know that some students couldn't join the class, but you know, the meeting has a limited capacity of 100 participants. I'm so sorry for them. I'm so sorry for them. So if, yeah, the mission 66 initiative. Okay, let me check the choices. Yeah, here most of you got it right, mashallah. Yani I know that the majority can't be mistaken when it comes to when it comes to such questions. However, some students are still struggling with such topics. Okay, so let's understand what's going on here. I have some students who answered it as B and answered it as A and answered it as C. Like, please take notes. Please take notes because يعني especially the ones who got it incorrect. The right answer is letter C. Okay, the right answer is letter C. Actually, I will tell you a tip, okay? And I hope that you write it, please, write it down. Don't attend any session without writing or without taking notes. I stressed this point yesterday in our first free session in the basic course, and I assume that some of you, even the students who are going for October, were attending yesterday as well. So here, when I have when you see any of the stop marks any of the stop marks means what? Period or semicolon. I said or, not and, okay? Be very precise. I said or, okay? When you see any of the stop marks, any one, so I mean one, any one of the stop marks among the choices, try this or try it first. Try it first. It's likely to be the right answer. Okay? Why I said or, because if you find a period and a semicolon in two different answer choices, you will be eliminating both choices because they are exactly the same. But if you see here, I have one of the stop marks, a semicolon. So I will try it first. Why? Because all what I need to do is to make sure that what is before the semicolon is an independent clause, and what is after the semicolon is an independent clause. So let me write it. Independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. One of the basic rules. But what do I mean by independent clause, dear teacher? I forgot what is meant by an independent clause. The independent clause must consist of subject plus verb plus complete thought. Okay. Rafa, you can tell your friend to join. I feel yani, there is a vacant place here in the meeting. Okay, Rafa, you can tell your friend to join, dear. Okay, now this is a subject verb complete thought and also independent clause. Again, subject verb in the complete thought. Complete thought. Is it clear? So that's the. So let's read and see whether we have before the semicolon is gonna be an independent clause. The Mission 66 initiative, which was approved by Congress in 1956. You see here, I have here a comma and I have here a comma. This is non-essential. Still, the Mission 66 initiative, that's the subject. What is its verb? The verb is here. So subject, the verb has still, I need a complete thought. Represented a major investment in the infrastructure of overburdened national parks. So I'm gonna write here parks for you to understand. Okay, then let me write it well. Okay. Parks. Then semicolon. So I have subject, verb, and a complete thought. The Mission 66 initiative represented a major investment in the infrastructure of overburdened national parks. Is it complete or not? It's definitely complete. Now let's go for the part after the semicolon. Let me see whether this part is complete or not. It, that's the subject. Prioritize, that's the verb. Physical improvements to the parks, roads, utilities, employee, housing, and visitor facilities, while also establishing educational program for the public. Perfectly independent. Perfectly independent. So I have two independent clauses separated or joined or punctuated using a semicolon. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, this will create run-on. This will create comma splice. Okay, and this will be incorrect because I must have here a comma. Okay, there must be a comma plus one of the fanboys. Yes, I have some students who are raising their hands. Yes, Omar. Omar Khaled.
Yes, teacher.
Hi, dear.
Yes. Can you remind? Can you, teacher, remind me what is the comma splice?
The comma
I need to take some notes.
a good question. The comma splice, thank you so much, ya Omar. I will write it clearly. Comma splice, this is comma splice. The comma splice is when you use, okay, when you use a comma between two independent clauses. That's a comma splice. When you use a comma between two independent clauses. Okay, so this is when you use a comma between two independent clauses. What is supposed to be there between two independent clauses? A semicolon, a period, a comma plus one of the fanboys. Okay, these are the cases when the two independent clauses can be punctuated. But using a comma between them is gonna create a comma splice. Using nothing at all, no punctuation marks, will create a run-on sentence, run-on, as if they are running after each other, chasing each other. So this letter B is incorrect and letter A lacks a comma. Okay? Yes. So you can,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
you know, you can take the chance by writing, when I have two independent clauses, you can put a period or you can put a semicolon, or you can put comma plus any of the femboys. Femboys means for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. Okay, and yeah, this is how you punctuate the independent clauses. Right, let's go for the next one. The number 4 is a little bit hard according to the College Board. Okay, the level of difficulty, يعني when you have such a question on the test, this means that you have, yeah, a harder question if compared to the previous ones. Also it tests you on the scale of boundaries, punctuation between clauses, phrases, and yeah, supplementaries. So let's go for number 4. Read it silently, decide upon the right answer, pass the right answer in the chat box privately. There is a very well-known rule here. This question is testing you on it. Amazing. Amazing Yassine, amazing Ala, amazing Fatma, amazing Amir. Yes, excellent. Yes, mashallah. Amazing Abbas, yes, amazing, thank you so much. Kareem, why you went for that answer? You have to review. Yes, Ahmed, amazing. Jana, you have to review. Maryam al-Dumairi, why ya Maryam? Why you made this question incorrect? Why? Why you have it incorrect? You answered it incorrectly, unfortunately, ya Maryuma. Type, let's go for discussing it now. No, ya Jana. Jana, wait, let me explain it, and please take notes. Take notes, okay? Take notes. Yes, Fida, that's right. That's right. Jana Ashraf, please review and take notes, ya Jana. Look here. This is related to something or a very basic rule. Let me just disable the chat in order for you to concentrate. We have here, when I have a title, the title here is the entomologist, okay? Or let me say, yeah, title or the occupation. And this title and that occupation, when it is followed by the proper noun, we should not use any punctuation, okay? No punctuation, okay? So here the title, that's the title. That's the proper noun. So accordingly, no punctuation should be added. No punctuation. Is it clear? Right. Also here, what is, okay, teacher, you eliminated, let me be organized a little bit. You told me not to add any punctuation between the title and the proper noun, right? So this means that we're gonna eliminate B. But why did you eliminate A and D? Because, you know, like there is no separation between the title and the proper noun. The separation came after, يعني came later. Here there is a colon and here there is a comma. You forgot the rule that we have just written. Here there is the verb. Here there is the verb, right? What is the subject of this verb? entomologist Heather Grab found that. Who found? The entomologist, right? So the entomologist Heather Grab found. So if you use a comma, that will be one punctuation mark separating the subject from its verb. Also, if you're going to use the colon, it is once again a punctuation mark that separates the subject from its verb. And we have just written this rule. I told you this rule, the College Board likes to examine you on this rule several times in the test. Yani you will not find one trial without you having this rule tested in it. You will not find one trial without this question. Never separate the subject from its verb using one punctuation mark, either two identical ones or none. That's why I can understand that some people might have been confused between letter B and letter C. So either no punctuation or two identical punctuation marks. But we have this rule. I told you about this rule. The title, when I started the title, yani I bring or I put the title before the proper noun, don't use no punctuation. No punctuation. Use no punctuation. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? So when I say Miss Nermeen, okay, teaches us SAT, so you cannot say Miss, okay, and having Nermeen or the proper noun between two commas. No, this is essential. Okay, I want to know who's that Miss. Okay, so Miss Nermeen, entomologist Heather Grab. So I don't use any punctuation marks between the occupation and the proper noun. Is it clear? So this is a very important rule. You have to make sure that you know it. Kaman, there is something related to letter A. For those who went for A, guys, never use, yani we always use the colon after an independent clause. Okay, never place the colon, okay, never place the colon after a phrase or after a dependent clause. Okay? No, you have to use the colon after an independent clause. The entomologist Heather Grab, this is a phrase. This is a noun phrase. 3 words, nouns mainly. You don't have to place a colon after a phrase or after a dependent clause. The colon must come or must be placed after an independent clause. After an independent clause. So we have many reasons not to use any of these options other than C. Is it clear? Some, okay, do I have, yes, Yahya, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, do you have a question?
No, I wanted to answer.
You wanted to answer, okay.
No.
I'm giving you the chance to answer in the chat box because, yeah, but I can pick any of you to explain the questions if you like. Yes, Malak, do you have any question?
Miss, I wanted to ask for B, why can it, for like Heather Grab, for it to be an appositive?
No, because if you will consider Heather Grab as an appositive, this means that it's non-essential. Yani, you know from entomologist whom I'm talking about. When I say entomologist, do you know whom I'm talking about? Whom I mean?
No.
No. So you didn't narrow that down. But when you tell me entomologist, who's that Who's that guy? So entomologist Heather Grapp. Yes, now I got to know what you're or whom you're talking about. Is it clear?
So like appositives are like informal?
No, appositives are non-essential. Are non-essential. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
but so the information here, the proper noun is super essential. Okay,
Okay,
it's super
thank
essential.
you.
Thank you so much. Let's go for number 5. Let's go for number 5. And number 5 is a little bit, hard, a little bit. Not hard, I mean challenging according to the College Board, because it tackles or targets form, structure, and sense. Some students fail to recognize the type of the question. That's why this inability makes it a little bit harder for them to identify the right answer. Is it clear? So try to read the question and got to the right answer, please, in the chat box. Okay, Ziad Muhammad, I'm gonna get back to the question you are referring to once we're done with that one, okay? Okay, I got some, yeah, Karim, that's right. Omar Ali, right. Ahmed Musa, review. Ahmed Khalil, excellent. Safe, review, ya Safe. Yusuf, review, ya Yusuf. Adam, excellent. Ula, no, review, ya Ula. Rinada, excellent. Hamza, excellent. Ala, review. Fida, excellent. Adham, excellent. Muhammad Hussein, review. Yasin, excellent. Okay, I'm just picking some random answers. Let's go for number 5. Let me ask any of you, do you know the type of this question? Yes, yeah, iPhone. Yes, iPhone. Mr. iPhone.
Yes, teacher.
Miss
Yes, teacher.
iPhone. Okay, yes, dear. That.
No, my name is Nana.
Okay,
But I have a question. You said for the comma, you said that we use it when we have two independent clauses, right?
the comma?
But you also said, yeah, the comma, not
No, I
semicolon, comma or something.
No, I didn't say that. The comma will be when you have a comma between two independent clauses, this will be a comma splice. You can put a comma plus one of the fanboys between two independent clauses.
Oh, okay, but the comma is when you have two independent clauses with no fanboys, like the
Yes.
conjunction.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
For Ziad Muhammad, he is asking me why teacher D is incorrect. Dear Ziad, you have here what you were not concentrating, I guess. We said that using one punctuation mark between the subject and the verb is unacceptable. Never, ever use one punctuation mark between the subject, entomologist Heather Grapp, found. Why you say, can I say Ziad, comma, found? No, I can't say that. Is it clear? So hopefully, yes, Ziad, you wrote down this note. Number 5, I'll deactivate the chat box in order for you to concentrate. Excellent, yeah, Abbas, why are you capitalizing all the letters as if you're shouting out loud? Yes, it's a modifier question. Yeah, Yasin Wasif, welcome back, yeah, Yasin. Yes, Yasin, go ahead. You want to explain it? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, first here we see that there is an introductory phrase. It means it modifies the subject that comes after the comma. So it needs to be related.
Yes,
The modifiers are cheap, versatile, and easy to produce.
yes.
We are talking about an object or a subject that can be produced. It's not problems, so it's not A and B. And in commercial plastics, there's a apostrophe S, which means it's not the subject. Two associated problems are the subject, so it's also not the answer. Only one, it's D, which is commercial plastics. Plastics can be produced and it's cheap.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Welcome back. That's why I said welcome back, Yasin. My student. Okay, now let's see. Despite being cheap, versatile. Now, while I'm reading, while I'm, solving digital SAT questions, I can come across some words that I'm unfamiliar with. So if you are unfamiliar with the word versatile, it's the time when you write it down and look it up. Okay, versatile means what? Adaptable. Adaptable. Okay, adaptable. It's versatile. Okay, despite being cheap, versatile, and easy to produce, what is supposed to be cheap, versatile, and easy to produce? The answer should be in the space. The answer should be in the subject of the sentence, the independent clause. So here, there are two problems, definitely no. The two problems can't be cheap, versatile, and easy to produce. The same thing here. Commercial plastics, two associated problems. Once again, it's about problems, because when I say Ahmed's book, I don't mean Ahmed, I mean his book. That's why when I say commercial plastics, two associated problems, I don't talk about the plastics, I'm talking about their associated problems. This one is incorrect as well. So by using the process of elimination, we eliminated A, B, and C. D is the best answer, because what is supposed to be cheap, versatile, and easy to produce? Commercial plastics. Is it clear? The answer came to me here immediately in the subject place. Okay, so a modifier, you must have the introductory, modifying phrase, then a comma, then the what? The subject that is, the subject that is modified or can be modified by the introductory phrase. Is it clear? Take notes, study, review. Once you're able to answer every question correctly, then this means that you are, or the burden of your studies is getting, lighter. Because once you're able to answer the modifier questions correctly, punctuation questions correctly, subject-verb agreement questions correctly, verb tense questions correctly, transition questions correctly, then the burden of your studies will be a lighter one. Okay? You will be focusing mainly on certain types that can be problematic for you. If you have a problem with any of these topics, try to overcome them now, because these questions are related to rules, very basic rules. You can't be taking a trial without knowing and mastering them. Okay, now let's go for number 6. Yes. Number 6, the level of difficulty is, like medium, fair. We have here form, structure, and sense. Read it silently, and we're gonna discuss it immediately after you write down the answer. Okay, many of you got it correctly, except Amir, Lamar, Saad, Muhammad Hussein. معقول؟ ها Abbas, no, it's incorrect. Muhammad Hamdi, excellent. Rinada, excellent. Jana, no. Suhair, review ya Suhair. Jihad, review. Farida, excellent. Hagar, review. Yusuf Tariq, excellent. Ahmad, excellent يا أحمد. Abbas, no. Hamza, no. Habiba Muhammad, excellent. Omar Ahmad, excellent. Yasin, excellent. Nadia, excellent. Yusuf, no يا يوسف. عمر أحمد yeah رفاعي excellent. وريم أيمن excellent. طبعا many students يعني ما شاء الله you're 100, but I cannot say your names, all of your names. let me يعني explain the question. Number 6. On April 5, 1977, Kelly Cohn, that's the subject, and 150 other disability rights activists, compound the subject still, entered, that's the verb, a San Francisco federal building. So it's super indefinite clause. After pleading for years, what is the meaning of pleading? Do you know the meaning of pleading? Do you know the meaning of pleading? You can raise your hand if you know. Yes, yeah, Omar. No, Sarah. Omar. Sarah or Omar? Omar, yes, go ahead. Do you know the meaning of pleading, ya Omar? Not sure. Type Sarah. Yes, Sarah. You can unmute your mic, Sarah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Pleading is like asking consistently.
Yeah, asking, requesting, earnestly. Yes, pleading, imploring. Okay. So here pleading means asking earnestly. Okay. Imploring. So after pleading for years for the passage of key anti-discrimination legislation, what is the meaning of legislation? Are you still with me, Sarah? No? We can, yeah, what do I mean by legislation? Yes, Ziad. Ziad, yeah.
Yes, teacher.
My dear student. Yes, dear.
Thank you, teacher. Legislation means the laws or lawmaking, the process of making laws themselves.
It's like a set of laws, okay? So discrimination legislation. So after pleading for years for the passage of key anti-discrimination legislation, what am I supposed to be finding right after the comma, Yazid? Are you still with me? Okay, raise your hand once again, please. Raise your hand once again, Yazid. Yes, thank you. Go ahead. Which answer
Can you
went
repeat your
for?
question?
Yeah, which answer you went for? You know, what am I supposed to be finding here right after the comma?
I think I should find the subject that did the pleading for years.
Excellent. The
Which is-
subject, yeah, the subject that can be described as being pleading for years, right? Yeah,
Yes.
what's supposed to be pleading? The pressure,
No,
a sit-in protest staged by the activists, a sit-in protest,
not that.
the protest can be, no, I don't
Not
think.
that either.
Yes. Lawmakers, or the
No,
activists.
they're the ones. It's not lawmakers because they're the ones being pressured. The activists, on the other hand, are the ones doing the action. That's why it should work. D
Excellent.
is the answer.
Thank you so much. So the right answer is letter D. Why, teacher, letter D? Actually, this one is a little bit challenging because two answers are totally incorrect. Pleading, of course, the pressure will not be pleading. The protest will not be pleading, but lawmakers, they are people. Activists are people. So those guys can be pleading. But what makes sense? That's why the skill being tested here is form, structure, and sense. Sense. Okay, who's supposed to be pleading for years for the passage of key anti-discrimination legislation? They are pleading. The activists, they are requesting, asking the lawmakers. Okay, so not the lawmakers are the ones who are pleading. That's why we need to, we need our answer to be making sense. Is it clear? So letter D is the best answer. Any questions? Did you get it correctly? Now, the people who answered it incorrectly, did you understand why? Yes, Hala, do you have any questions? I can see that you're raising your hand. Hamza also. Do you have any questions?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is
You
your
said
question?
that my answer is wrong, right?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
was your
no,
answer?
it's not a question. Well, it was at the first I made it D, but then I changed it to D. I made it C, but then I changed it to D.
Yeah, okay. You chose C, then you changed it to D. Okay. Yes, but the point is that
yeah, and you said it is wrong, so I thought that D is wrong answer.
No. I meant C is the wrong answer. D is the right answer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Now let's go for number 7. Number 7 is an easy one, and you can, yalla, you can answer it very fast. Very fast. I activated the chat box. And this is an easy one. Excellent. Lamar, Abbas, Saad, Ziad, Hamza, Yusuf, Jannah, Ahmad, Habiba, Yara. Someone, yeah, Ahmad Muhammad Khalil. Are you sure your answer is right? Review your answer, ya Khalil. Ziad, excellent. NG, excellent. All of you are excellent. Yeah, Saifuddin Qais. Saifuddin Qais, review your answer, ya Zaid. Ya Ziyad, ya Saif, sorry. Every other answer is correct, hopefully, except for Amir. Amir's answer isn't the right one. Muhammad Awad, why are you typing all of these letters? Yeah, Muhammad. Ziad Ihab, what? Ziad Ihab? Are you sure your answer is correct, ya Ziad? Rimas, no, review your answer. Ya Ziad, unmute your mic, ya Ziad. Raise your hand, ya Ziad. Raise your hand, Ziad Ihab, please, for me to pick you. Yes, ya Ziad. Which answer you went?
I'm not here. I wasn't focusing. I went for C. Okay, I'm away. I will throw myself from the window right now.
No, don't. I can do for you.
Yeah, I'm going.
In recent years, concentrate please, all of you. Economists around the world have created new tools that quantify. You see? There will be now a very important tip. A very important tip that, you know, honestly speaking, يعني this can be a confusing question. يعني it's not supposed to be an easy. It can be a little bit medium. Okay, so in recent years, economists around the world have created new tools that quantify the overall well-being of a country's citizens. Ziad, are you still with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Economists in India, for example, use an ease of living index. This tool, economic potential, sustainability, and citizens' quality of life. You were confused, Ziad, because you have seen have created, right?
At the beginning, yeah, but I know the right answer.
Like, okay, what is your right answer?
I went for C, and it's wrong.
Like,
The right answer must.
yes, what's your right answer?
Okay, complete talking, miss.
Okay, now look here. You have maybe you have confused. You were confused because of have created this verb. Yani, in recent years, economists around the world have created new tools that quantify. Look here, tools. When I talked about tools, I used this verb that quantify. That's verb. That's the present. Right? Present simple. Present simple. The overall well-being of a country's citizens. Economists in India, for example, use present simple. So I must use here present simple.
Present simple because of use. And we have
Yeah.
tools the tool that quantify. So
Yes.
That is a present simple also.
Exactly.
So it must be in.
I don't have past perfect to use B, to choose B. For those who chose B, this is past perfect. I don't use conditional because I don't have if. No conditionals.
Yeah.
Okay, would have measured usually comes with the conditional the third conditional, right? The third case, the third conditional. And will, of course, that's future.
The future, and there is no sign of the future or keyword of the future.
Yes, exactly. So the right answer is letter A. Is it clear? So no conditional, because when I say if he had studied, if he had studied hard, he would have passed the test. So when you see the conditional, with had plus PP, it's when you use would have plus PP. Is it clear? Other than this, you will not be able to use this form at all. You got it? And for verb consistency, and also there is one important tip that you need to consider always. We use the present simple tense to what? To talk about facts, to express, explain, and talk about facts. Okay, so even if you have any other tenses in the sentence or in the text, but your sentence is talking about a fact, you have to end up using the present simple. Is it clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So practice makes perfect. The more you answer some questions, the more you will diagnose your case. You will be able to analyze your mistakes. You will get to know your weaknesses, and you have to overcome them by taking notes, by tackling similar questions in order to avoid making such mistakes in the test. Now, let's go for number 8, and it's a little bit harder. So test yourselves, guys. And for each answer, now they are 8 questions. Okay, 8 questions. Make sure that your mic is muted, please. Yes, yeah. Okay, thank you so much. There are 8 questions now. If you answered all the previous 7 questions correctly, you can give yourself 70 marks. Yani 10 marks for each question. 10 marks for each question. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about your scores by the end of the session. Okay, so here number 8. Think about it. It's a little bit problematic. What is the skill? The skill is about boundaries. Punctuation between clauses and phrases, main and supplementary. So you have to identify the main clause and the non-essential part if there is a non-essential part. Okay, let's go for, yeah, the chat box is activated already. Okay, here I have some people who answered it correctly. Saif el-Din Qais, because last time you answered it incorrectly. Now this question you were able to answer correctly, mashallah. Saad, excellent, ya Saad. Rinad Ali, review ya Rinad. Reem Atif, excellent ya Reem. Muhammad Hamdi, excellent. Is that Muhammad Hamdi? My old Muhammad Hamdi? Is that one? Can you raise your hand, ya Muhammad? Can you raise your hand, ya Muhammad? If I can't see you. Anyways, yeah, yes, that's right. Yes, Muhammad, how are you?
How are you, miss?
That's Muhammad Hamdi, my old student.
Yes, miss, it's me.
Hi, how are you? I miss you.
I miss you as well, miss. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Look, ya Muhammad Hamdi, which answer you went for?
I went for D.
Yeah, actually, Muhammad, yes, D is the right answer. But can you clarify why you went for D? Because some of your friends went for A and others went for B and others went for C.
I went for D since, to begin with, we have a comma before the after isotope.
Yes.
So So at the end, we should also have a comma.
Ah, yes.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
and then the 13C here, we cannot have two commas because it's already inside the parentheses.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Now, listen, guys, I have to read the sentence very well and see if there is, because I have here many commas. I found here a comma only. I am no commas at all. I have two commas here in letter C, and I have one comma after the last bracket. So I must read from the beginning. A student led by scientist Rebecca Kirby at the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that black bears that eat human food before hibernation have increased levels of a rare carbon isotope. What is that rare carbon isotope? That's carbon 13, between brackets 13C. Okay, so it's like non-essential, extra, additional information about the rare carbon isotope. I'm defining it. I'm giving you extra information about the rare carbon isotope. Do I know exactly what I'm talking about? Yes, the rare carbon isotope. What is it exactly? The formula, its formula is like such an additional information. Supplementary, we can say supplementary information, additional information. So this additional information is introduced already using a comma. So it must end with a comma. So I will eliminate A and B because there is no comma after the isotope formula. Okay, so it's either C or D. Why wouldn't I go for C, as your friend mentioned? The information is written already between two brackets, two parentheses. Why shall I add two commas? Why? No, it can't be. So the right answer is gonna be D, because this comma will be paired up with that one to refer to or to mark the non-essential information. Okay, so I have here like when I say found that black bears that eat human food before hibernation have increased levels of a rare carbon isotope, and I said that formula due to rare carbon isotope due to the higher 13C levels in corn and so on. Is it clear? And sugar and cane sugar. Now this is the difference between the main clause and the additional information. Is it clear? So we have here non-essential, additional, or you say additional information can be separated between or set off, sorry, can be set off by two commas, or two commas here definitely. So a comma should be paired up with another one in order to set off the non-essential information. Is it clear? Yes, I have here some people. Yeah, yes, Ahmed.
Yes,
Ahmed
teacher.
Salim, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay, no problem. If anyone else has a problem, has a question, Alauddin, do you have any question, any problem? Yes, Lamar. Lamar, do you have any questions? طيب, let's end this part using يعني answering a difficult or a hard question like that. But if you use the process of elimination, it won't be hard anymore. Okay, if you consider one tip I said at the beginning of this session, it won't be hard. You will be stuck between two answers, but the right answer will be very clear. Okay, so let me activate it is activated, so you can be sending the Ziad and Ahmed Khalil, what are you doing? Shall I stop? Shall I deactivate the chat box? Naughty ones. Okay. Yes, of course. I will disable that. They are on drugs. Okay. I will pick someone. I'll pick someone to explain. Yeah, can you please raise your hand in order to explain if you're eager to do? I have like 7 people raising their hands. MashaAllah, only 7 people? Huh? Only 7 people. Okay, Suhair, yalla, go ahead. Miss Suhair, yalla, go ahead. Suhair, which one you went for?
I went for B.
You went for B. Do you think that B, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, tell me why.
Firstly, I enumerated A and C because they are same function, the period and the semicolon.
Amazing. Amazing. You did a great job. Letter A and C are gonna be eliminated because they are doing the exact same job, the period and the semicolon. But this is Suhair's answer. Suhair's answer. Okay, like tell me, yes, Suhair. Okay, yes. Tell me why you went for B, dear, not D. You muted your mic. Wait, raise your hand once again, dear. You raise your hand, please. Yes, Suhair. Yes. Yes, dear. Don't mute your mic unless you're done.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss, honestly, I feel it because indeed it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Right. Let me read for you the haiku-like poems of Thomas Transtromer, which present nature and the dream influenced images in crisp, spare language have earned. Now, if the College Board or the SAT kept throwing many things on your way to confuse you, you will, once you see the verb, this is the verb, try to assign its subject. Okay, so here the poems, the haiku-like poems, that's the subject, because all of these are, like non-essential. Some here non-essential. This is prepositional phrase. I don't care, because you will not find ever a subject in the prepositional phrase. Usually the subject comes before the prepositional phrase. Poems have earned the Swedish poet praise from leading contemporary writers. I'm gonna write here writers. Okay, so here have earned, these poems have earned the Swedish poet praise from leading contemporary writers. Don't you think that this can be complete? Can be. طيب, among is a preposition teacher. Among is a preposition. Usually we don't use, any punctuation marks before prepositions. Now let's go and complete. Among them, Nigerian American essayist and novelist Teju Koli, who has written that Transtromer's works contain a luminous simplicity. Okay? Now I'm stuck between B and D. Is it clear? Now I got to see among them, Nigerian American essayist and novelist. Okay? So here have earned the Swedish poet, the poems have earned the Swedish poet praise from leading contemporary writers. Among them belongs to writers. Among them, Nigerian American essayist. I mean, this part is like when I say Suhair, went to the club, okay, to exercise. Okay, to exercise, sorry. To exercise. Now, if I say, I cannot separate. So here went, comma, to the club, comma, to exercise. No, I cannot place any commas or any punctuation marks before these prepositions because they are super related to what has been mentioned earlier. But here, I cannot, this one will not give me a complete thought. So here went to the club. This makes a complete thought, but not, so here went. Is it clear? طيب.
Yeah.
But look at this part. Have earned the Swedish poet praise from leading contemporary writers. That's perfect. Among them, Nigerian American essayist and novelist Teju Koli, who has written that whatever works contain a luminous simplicity. Versus, comma versus no comma. What do you think? You went for B. But, unfortunately, the right answer is D, not B. Because the comma refers to a non-essential information that, or referring to additional information, because the meaning of the main clause was completed here at the word writers. Okay, so, and here, if you can see, I have here a comma as well. So after an independent clause, if you want to add several non-essential phrases or pieces of information, you can keep separating them with commas. Is it clear? But here, once again, let me read بقى in order to differentiate between you see, this is boundaries. The boundaries between a main clause and a non-essential part. So the haiku-like poems of whatever, which present a nature and dream-influenced images in crisp, spare language, مالهم بقى poems have earned the Swedish poet praise from leading contemporary writers. That's perfectly complete. Among them, Nigerian American essayist and novelist Teju Koli. So this is a non-essential, like extra information. Is it clear? Among them, Nigerian American essayist and novelist Teju Koli. Because I'm giving you a certain extra information about one of these writers. I'm not talking about them all, okay, referring to them all. No, I'm talking about a certain one. This is what an extra piece of information. That's how we make boundaries, a boundary between the main clause اللي هي ال independent clause وبعدين ال additional non-essential supplementary information. So please take notes. Okay, take notes. We have here the main clause, which is the independent clause. A complete meaning, a subject, verb, complete thought. وبعدين, if you want to add non-essential information, additional information about a certain thing, you can separate the independent clause from the additional information using a comma. One way to separate them using a comma. Is it clear? Got it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Guys, yes, dear. Guys, do you have any questions? Right.
No, I'm sorry, no.
Okay. Yalla, the last question here, because I don't want to make you late. It's only the first session and it's free for everyone. I know that some of you were not planning to attend, and they were, I don't know, they were surprised that I'm gonna give or open the session for everyone. Yeah, I know that some of you have other sessions to follow. We're gonna answer number 10 and we're gonna end our session today. طبعا this is only it's a very simple example of what is gonna happen during October, the October course. Usually usually you're given a complete module during the session. You will be asked to fill in a Google form with your answers, and you will get some scores by the end of the session, or not by the end, by the middle of the session before I start explaining. Our pace is gonna be faster because this is a free session, and I know that many of the students attending now, I'm not familiar with them. We have to organize many things and adjust many settings and so on to have this meeting now live. But during our private course, we all know each other. The mics are all open, are unmuted for everyone to participate and explain and take notes and so on. As I mentioned yesterday, I will not accept anyone who's submitting the homework or the, after taking the test, you will answer it, re-answer it with annotations. What are these annotations? The annotations are the rules that you're supposed to be writing, like what I do here. Okay, anything that has to do with the meaning of a new word, a rule that is related to a certain question, any tip that you have to focus and consider in order to answer some questions. All of these must be, shown very clearly while you're submitting your homework. Anyone who's not gonna follow the instructions, this means that this one is not planning to get a high score, and I'm not ready to keep him or her in my course. Just كده, this is from the beginning of the course, and I did dismiss some of the students who already paid for the course, but I actually didn't like their attitude, their careless attitude, their indifferent attitude. No matter how many times we tell them to do their homework, they don't do, or they just submit it anyways. No, we don't accept that at all. We have يعني, a certain level of high scores. Alhamdulillah, we are privileged with our scores. I want يعني accept to be beyond that, or to be less, to go less than this level. Okay. Please يعني try to consider these points before our second session tomorrow, inshallah. The official course will start tomorrow privately. Okay, so if you are gonna be enrolled in our course, you have to contact Miss Fadwa. Okay, other than this, you have to be knowing, or to be informed, that you will not be allowed into the course unless you exert an effort, exert a great effort, and be sure that we're gonna follow you up like hell. Follow you up like hell. You want to be having the chance to يعني ignore or miss your homework unless you will be dismissed. خلاص, we will not care about such a type of student who doesn't care about his or her يعني score in the coming trial. Okay, for number 10. Number 10 is asking you about the usage of the apostrophe. How we're gonna use the apostrophe correctly. طبعا my students know it. يعني you can be answering it in a blink of an eye. Okay, in a blink of an eye, because definitely you will find a preposition, and once you find the preposition, 3 answers here cannot be accepted. 3 answers here cannot be accepted. No, don't tell. Yes, go ahead and write the answers. Yusuf, are you kidding me? Yusuf, I don't know if you are one of my many Yusufs or not, but are you sure that is letter B? Review, dear. طبعا almost all of you got it correctly. It's A. طبعا when I have preposition, the apostrophe cannot be followed by a preposition or a verb. So let's write this. And apostrophe cannot be followed by a preposition, a verb, an adverb, okay, or most of the time a punctuation mark. It must be followed by, I mean the apostrophe. It must be followed by either a noun or an adjective plus a noun. So I have to end up using a noun after the apostrophe. So here there is a preposition, so I don't use any apostrophes at all. So letter A is the best answer. So out of 100, so these questions were 10, and each question is worth 10 marks. So out of 100, can you please write down your scores? Out of 100, Ghada 90, Omar 90, Jihad 70, Sama 90, Hur 90, Omar 90, okay. Omar Ali 100, Ziad Ihab 90, Hajar 70, Lamar 80, okay, يا أحمد 90, Marwan 90, Dima 70, Rimas 100, 70, Hana Ahmed, Ganna 70, you got 80, yeah, Muhammad Adil. To be honest, I like being honest. Yes, Amir 60, Nurhan 90, 80. Okay, that's amazing, guys. You did a great job. At least you tried your best to review the rules related to some writing topics. Inshallah, every question, I'll do my best to have every question. You know, for when we answer every question, you need to know which skill this question covers, the level of its difficulty, and yeah, any notes or annotations or rules are to be written related to that very question. Answering many questions, practicing a lot, you will be able to know your weaknesses, your mistakes, and for you to overcome them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and excuse my weak voice, kinda annoying coughing. I did my best to mute my mic whenever I wanted to cough. See you inshallah in the course. Thank you so much. Bye.